Hello everyone, welcome back to Durbanites FPL Game Week 7 review and Game Week 8 preview. It's been a long wait with the international break, but let's not wait any longer, starting with the table. Pots and Pans FC go up on top, second week at the top of the leaderboard, jumping over that 21-point gap and beating Alo Boys up to the top. Fantasy is up to third, but Fatih's other team has disappeared off the front page. Otherwise, still fairly regular. Jurassic and Gunners making a big move up the table into the front page. It's excellent this season. There we go. Fatih's second team is now sitting in 12th, sandwiched between the two champions who are fighting hard to get into the front page. Important to know, guys, 5 teams in this league are averaging about 60 points a week, which is excellent pace. And that's the top 4 plus our Obi-Wan Iwobi, who's just started, but 2 weeks in, really pulling tracks. Now let's see what that looks like in terms of the player selections. Erling Haaland, the king, is up there. 85% of managers now owning Erling Haaland. There are 4 managers that are being super brave by not putting him on based on his form. Let's see how that plays out in the weeks to come. Anton Semenyo is also now fast becoming a favorite. His form is excellent. Mo Salah down at 60%. Tijani Reinders now making a move in there, and João Pedro is back in. So these 5 players essentially found in most of our lineups. But looking at the differentiators for this week, big week for Josko Guardiola, just 1 manager having faith in him this week. Bruno Guimaraes, 2 managers, Declan Rice as well. Jurriën Timber, all of them sharing double figures this week. Dan Burn coming in with 3 managers who back him. Mohamed Kudus with the same. And then Moises Caicedo coming in with 4 managers backing him. Not very often you find Mohamed and Moises on the same list. Now guys, based on that, let's look at the hits and misses. Some big hits as well. Ami clocking 50 points in that midfield. Big captaincy on Semenyo as well, really paying dividends. Back at the back, Didi, Fatih, Bai, Ansu and Zai all pulling 20 plus points, which is fantastic. But without fail, 30 plus points for Mubs, doing really well. And Squish, did we ever doubt that she would get 30 points this week? Super strikers up front. Mostly led by a captaincy on Haaland, but Hassan's in there, Atta's in there, Suad's in there, Pai in there again, Zax, Mohamed Sadiq is in, and Azra. 1 miss this week. The hot benches are starting to pile up now, 3rd week in a row. Zai on 20 plus points sitting on the bench, which is quite unlucky. Now what does that mean for the team of the week? So based on our selections, guys, that means that we had Pope up at the back, taking the number 1 jersey from Raya. 4 strong defenders at the back. Guardiola with 10. Jurriën Timber, Dan Burn and Gabriel making up the back 4. Kudus, Guimaraes, Caicedo and Rice in the midfield. Semenyo undoubtedly the captaincy choice. 36 points for him if you played your captain. And Sesko leading the line up front. Pushing Walter Mada onto the bench, as is Haaland at 14.5, and Pedro Porro, no space for him on the team this week. Raya taking, of course, the goalkeeper slot. That team would have got you 142 points and 169 with that bench boost, but a total cost of 102. Not impossible, but definitely tough to get. Now, based on that, guys, let's have a look at what the matchups look like for the weeks coming up ahead. For the next 10 weeks, we've decided to call out caution on Aston Villa. Again, not in the best form, guys, going against a Spurs team who, again, also not in the best of form, but then following that up with trips to Manchester City and Liverpool before going against an on-form Bournemouth. It's going to be tough going for Aston Villa in the next 4 weeks, I feel. Bournemouth themselves have Crystal Palace, who have been really strong, taking out Liverpool along the way. Notts Forest, who are eking for that first win. Then City and Aston Villa, before they start looking at some favourable fixtures. So for those that are looking at Semenyo, Senesi, just be aware of the rotation possibilities. Fulham with tough games coming up. Arsenal and Newcastle back to back before they have a fairly good run, but then running into Spurs and Man City before going to Crystal Palace. So it's not all smooth running for Fulham, considering they also don't have a striker that's fit at this moment in time. Raul Jimenez is trying to make his way back into the team. Muniz is definitely out for a longer term. Liverpool, based on their form, coming up against Manchester United this week. Not entirely sure how that's going to go. Then they've got Brentford, Villa, City, Forest before they start looking at some favourable fixtures. Guys, we've put Liverpool as a doubt because with Manchester United, it's a fixture that goes beyond form and usually looks at the history between the two teams, and they have not been in the greatest of form, so just be wary of that as well. On the flip side, Manchester United is also flagged because they're going up against Liverpool. We don't have to relive the horrors of the 7-0 that they got a few seasons back. Then they've got Brighton, Forest, Tottenham. There's quite a few tough games for them, and their form hasn't been the best. Let's see how that's going to play out for them. But on the flip side, looking at teams that we would favour, Arsenal for sure. That run is looking good. The next 5 games, good. Some rotations, some teams that are struggling a little bit. So some that you need to call out as well. The Crystal Palace game is going to be tough. The North England derby there with Tottenham. But along the way, I think some good chances for them to maintain the top of the table lead. Chelsea also going into a fantastic run of games. The big problem there is Cole Palmer's out for a fairly long time. Might miss all of these fixtures at this moment in time. He is completely ruled out. Moises Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez are both in training but have come back late from their international call-ups, so just a bit doubtful on the minutes they will get. But Chelsea looking that they should get these results going forward in those fixtures coming up. Leeds as well, 2 good fixtures coming up back to back. They have been a really strong team for the promoted teams, so ones to look at in the next couple of weeks, and we'll talk about the players as well. And of course, Notts Forest, not Notts Forest, but actually looking at Newcastle taking on Brighton, Fulham, then West Ham and Brentford, all winnable games for them. Nick Waltemada is now on 4 goals from 5 games, really proving to be the on-form striker from all the transfers that have taken place, and also being backed up quite well with this team. They have a few issues with the defense, with Dan Burn a bit the anchor there, but Lewis Hall's out, Livramento's out, so maybe a little bit shaky at the back, but up front they are looking strong. Then you've got Sunderland as well. Now Sunderland have been a surprise package. They've got Wolves this week and they've got Everton coming up the week after that. Chelsea squashed in between, but let's see how that goes, considering they are really, really strong. And then you've got Wolves there who are struggling at the bottom, struggling to get results, but they've got Sunderland and Burnley, 2 promoted teams back to back. A chance for Wolves to try and get some points on the board. Now, based on that, let's look at our selections, guys. Alisson is still out for the next 4 to 5 weeks at least. So we're looking at Raya at Arsenal, who's, if you've got him, keep him. Wouldn't look at buying him. I think there's better options to buy because he's quite pricey. Roofs is always good, making a lot of saves, also one to save penalties. He's picked up some big points along the way for Sunderland. And Donnarumma is a banker for Manchester City. Look at that list of injuries on the defenders. Livramento out, all out. Mings is highly doubtful. Konate is doubtful, but chances are he will start because Liverpool is a bit desperate at the back. Ait Nouri is still doubtful, but could play for Man City. Colwell is out for Chelsea. Branthwaite out for Everton, and Keane is doubtful as well. Mazraoui is highly doubtful for Manchester United. They're probably going to miss him in this game. Aina still out for Notts Forest, and Alderete, who many have brought in with that Sunderland defense, is doubtful mainly because he has had a late return from international duty, so he might get reduced minutes. Looking at the fixtures then, Joe Rodon's a good pick from Leeds. He's fairly well priced and picks up a few points, especially in DEFCON and assists. Then you've got Josko Guardiola, who's definitely playing a very attacking role, might be well worth looking at bringing him in. And then you've got Gabriel and Timber from Arsenal, the standout defenders, guys. Saliba's dropped off a little bit this season. He's not anywhere close to the form that these guys are showing, so there's the pick for you. And Timber on his attack as well is actually edging out Gabriel at this moment in time. Senesi's a good pick for the first half so far of the season, at least for the 8 games that have gone. Tough games coming up for Bournemouth though, guys, and his price has shot up from 4.5 where he started, and I think he's at 5 now, or 4.9, so he's a fairly expensive pick. Just think about that carefully. Alderete is still priced well, and Sunderland have been doing well defensively, but with that with him being doubtful this week, just think about that before you make that move. Dan Burn is, again, he's been a real animal for Newcastle, definitely worth it, and picking up goals along the way as well. Then you've got Trevor Chalobah coming back for Chelsea, and Mark Gahey, the captain there for Crystal Palace. These are all picks on the back line. Looking at the midfield, Arsenal still facing issues this season. Noni Madueke is still out. now Martin Odegaard has picked up a knee injury and he's out. Thankful for them compared to last season, they do have backups. So Eberechi Eze's in play. Bukayo Saka's coming back. They've got Martin Zubimendi in there. They've got Mikel Merino. So they do have backups in that midfield. I don't expect it to hit them as bad as it has in previous seasons. Spurs still missing those the duo of Madison and Kulusevski. Palmer's out for Chelsea. Caicedo and Enzo, as I say, showing as doubtful, mainly because of a late return. I expect them to start, but maybe have some reduced minutes if the fatigue is setting in. Grealish is blocked against Manchester City, playing for Everton this week. He cannot play. He's not suspended. He just cannot play against his parent club, but he will be back next week. Just a call out to those that own him. You've got to bench him this week. There's no chance of him playing. Then you've got Anthony there from Burnley, who's a little bit doubtful, again, mainly because of international duty and the late return. Marmoush is looking to make his comeback for Man City, but might get reduced minutes. Rodri is picked up a knock, and he's going to be highly doubtful to start. Dewsbury Hall still out for Everton, and Karl Mitoma is doubtful, mainly because of the trip back from Japan. Looking at the picks for this week, Mo Salah, even though he's not been picking up a lot of points this season, he is currently averaging just 3 points per game, which is well lower of what we expect from him. However, he has a fantastic record of scoring against Manchester United, hence he is still leading the pick in this particular week. Then you've got Tijani Reinders from Man City, Phil Foden as well. Antoine Semenyo is on form. Mohamed Kudus and Matthijs Tel. Tel specifically getting a call out because he was asked to play as a striker and got a goal last week. So a chance for him to do that again because Richarlison is not on form. Eberechi Eze, Martinelli and Rice. So again, Arsenal still having injuries but still have a lot of firepower to call on. With Palmer out, there's a chance that Estevao will get the chance to have a fuller run at Chelsea. He is electric, guys. You saw what he did in the last game, so a chance for him to really get things going. Let's see if he'll get a chance. It is a bit of a punt. He might not get the minutes, but I think I'm hoping he will. Then you've got Morgan Rogers and John McGinn for Aston Villa. These are the call-outs with Yuri Tillman out. Ismail Assar is doing well as the new creative midfielder for Crystal Palace with the absence of Eberechi Eze. Then you've got Granit Xhaka, who's really good on the DEFCONs for Sunderland. And then you've got Stack and Longstaff for Leeds, who take on Sunderland this week. Now, on the forwards, guys, again, look at that list of injuries. Jesus and Havertz. Arsenal not having any luck on the injuries this season. Delap still out for Chelsea after a promising start. Wissa is still out for Newcastle. Chances are he will only be back after the next international break in November, so it's a long time before he kicks a ball. That means Walter is pretty much locked in for the next 4 to 5 weeks. Then Dominic Solanke still out. Kolomwani still making his way back into form. Ekitike is picked up a little bit of a knock, but he's okay. Muniz is out for Fulham. Raul is trying to make his way back. Chris Woods picked up a little knock, as has Ollie Watkins on duty for England. And what that means is when we look at the picks, the out-and-out outstanding pick, guys, Erling Haaland, he is 30 plus points ahead of the next forward in FPL today. And he is on stunning form and not showing any signs of dropping off just yet. So if you don't have him, you are really gambling against that. Fair enough, this week he is facing an Everton team that is known for being tough defensively. David Moyes is really good on that. But Erling Haaland is on some scintillating form. And if he gets a chance, you can pretty much bank on it that he's going to put it away. Nick Waltmar is the other one to look at. Really good form currently. 4 out of 5 for Newcastle. Some stunning play. Great creativity behind him, giving him a lot of chances. And he has also scored 4 times in qualifiers for Germany. So, guys, definitely one of the form players currently. Isak and Ekitike at Liverpool, I've called them both out mainly because they play against a Manchester United defense that can become undone. However, guys, you are gambling on minutes with these two. Not sure at all. I don't think Arne Slot is even sure on who will get how many minutes. So it's going to be a bit of a tough call. You're going to have to make a bit of a judgment call on this one if you want anyone on the team. They're both fairly pricey. Ekitike is definitely in better form currently. Isak might still get the nod. It's hard to say, but anyway, leave that one up to you. Benjamin Sesko for sure is starting for Manchester United. There's just no other choice right now, and he has 2 in 2. Chance for him to score against Liverpool as well and become a Manchester United hero this season. Let's see how that goes. João Pedro for Chelsea, again with a run of fixtures coming up, guys. João Pedro's a good pick, even though he hasn't had the best of returns in the last couple of games. I think the fixtures are now much more favourable for him, and hopefully Maresca gets the tactics right and doesn't end up with too many red cards where he has to substitute and sacrifice his attacking players. Then you've got Thiago Silva for Brentford, guys. He is a scoring machine and well worth the call out. And then you have Victor Gyökeres, who has 3 goals in the Premier League already this season, so not to be slept on. He is struggling a bit with the Arsenal team trying to get used to playing through a central striker. He might still be on penalties, even though Saka took the last one for Arsenal. But again, he's quite an expensive player. He's not really showing that form, but Arsenal do have the run of games to give him some goals. So not having him is indeed a gamble that you'll have to take. It's been a long wait, guys. Game week 8 is here. Time for you to make some choices. Don't forget the deadline is at noon CAT tomorrow. So make sure that you get these choices in. Make sure you get your transfers done and your captaincy. Think about playing a triple captain if you will. Quite a few good choices that you can make along the way. Let's drop a like. Please don't forget to subscribe and maybe leave a comment and let us know who's going to win the Manchester United Liverpool battle for the North. Until next week, take it easy and don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you next time.